Yo, as always, homies, I appreciate you guys so much for clicking on the video. Okay, today's video is going to be a little bit hard to do just because it's a sensitive topic, but kind of basically everywhere online, everything is kind of like going crazy right now for Sparking Zero, just strictly because it started off with so much love for the game, and now right now it's in this weird spot of how much people can't stand it and said that the game is dying. So a lot of people kept asking me, and I've spoken to a couple YouTubers as of yesterday and day before yesterday on my day off from streaming, and it was basically to ask them, like, how do you guys feel about the game, the direction of the game, and you know, you got to see where the game is falling off and what's affecting the game. Like, what are these things that's genuinely going out there that's bothering the community so much that it's having such a crazy major decline? Because it's actually, I know a lot of people can really, you know, cry wolf all the time, but it's a significant fall off, right? Do I feel like the game is fun? Yeah. Doesn't mean that everybody feels that way, right? I feel like a lot of it comes down to the direction of the game, of how it's going. And a lot of things that I want to bring up now is, and you guys let me know why you feel like the game is falling off, or why do you guys feel like people are hating the game. A big part of it, to me, comes from, not the biggest, but a big part of it comes from the rage quitting online. It's actually unplayable in a lot of scenarios, and I've showcased a lot from my YouTube shorts or just like videos that I put out there with just how many people are rage quitting. And I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, you'll get banned and stuff like that, but I've spoken to the devs and it hasn't really fully been implemented. So there's still going to be people that is still going to be rage quitting, which makes it a little bit crazy. Now, what is the main thing hurting this game? And a lot of people don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is strictly because it comes down to the game being so unbalanced, right? If the game is so unbalanced, and I know a lot of people are like, well, the devs say it's supposed to be unbalanced, and it's Dragon Ball Z, it's supposed to be like this. Yeah, it's Dragon Ball Z, but it's online. Like back in the day, Tenkaichi with being unbalanced was one thing. Today's society of gaming is a little bit different, just strictly because what ends up happening here is that first thing is the dev said it's supposed to be unbalanced. Then, as soon as we found some broken stuff with Yajirobe, it gets completely fixed immediately. So that already contradicts the fact of it being supposedly to be unbalanced and broken and things like this, and this character's supposed to be having a tough time fighting this character because they're already doing balance patches with more balance patches planned for the game, okay? Now, the thing about this that actually goes into it is, what can we do as a player and a community for this game to have a longevity? In order for it to have a longevity, you need to have a healthy online player base. You need to reward players that are dealing with rage quitters for them to instantly get their points, or punish these players, or actually punish them and get them up out of there. Something, some way, somehow, you have to do something in order to give the game a good quality of life for people to be able to play the game, right? And I think that's just genuinely, fundamentally important to hold your player base. Now, with that being said, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with dealing with the unbalanced spot in the game with each character, and how broken spamming key blasts are? How dealing with vanishes are for a lot of people. Now, you may love vanishing, but a lot of people don't love those vanishing battles. They feel like it takes away from the game. So if you start putting all of these things into perspective, it's the reason why the game is actually pulling away, especially with players not being able to play online, players not being able to find lobbies or do anything to really kind of like lock in and get to find matches. Those are bugs and things that should be fixed based on Xbox, PlayStation, all around, to where these players are struggling. So those things, even though the game sold 3 million copies, it's actually struggling right now with the position that it's in. But I feel like it's a game that if the devs really put the time and effort into to listen to the community and fix, the game will be back shining in no time, you know? And I feel like stuff like that is just very important, because rage quitting is killing the game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's unfun. It's people that's playing 4-bar characters, 4 health bar characters, Gogetas. For some reason, Gogetas have the highest quit rate for me, and I don't know why. You're already playing the highest character, you punch the hardest, you do the most damage, you're killing like 3 hits, and then those are the people that's leaving the game. So if you have this, right, if you have this, You have to find a way to fix it for your casuals, your sweaties, everybody all around to have a good gaming experience. As a developer, you should have already have this in place to say if people are quitting, let's give these players and reward these players their points and for their time, because your time isn't being respected. And it's not like it's quitting every now and then, every 30 games. Sometimes it's I dealt with 5 disconnects in a row, especially like when you stop people from going to instant sparking. If you bully someone and stop them from going to instant sparking, they will get mad and legitimately lock you down by quitting. Okay, they don't care, right? So quitting is now a method for people to keep their rank, which is a good reason why people don't respect the high rank all around. So what can we do for this game to stop falling off as hard? Just fix those things. Fix those things, or if you guys have any other things in the comment section. So people were asking me, Rio, do you feel like this game is dying? Dying is too strong of a word. It is just losing its momentum on things of streaming platforms. It's losing its momentum on streaming platforms. And I feel like that's very important to really pay attention to, because if it has no hype around it, it loses its buzz on YouTube, and you got to keep those things alive. Now, people saying that it's dying has nothing to do with the people that still playing the game offline. The people on PlayStation, even though the Steam charts are saying one thing, you got to really pay attention to those type of players. But it is in a bad place as far as like with everything else going through for it, and it's going to hurt it definitely in the major long run. You know what I'm saying? So they have to do something about this game and kind of fix it for what it has going on. But I feel like the game can be fixed, especially if they were to put the time into it. And I feel like the community itself is waiting for it to be fixed. And it's still in its early stages to where things like that can be addressed very early. And the thing is, trying to sell the game as, oh, it's supposed to be broken, was just a very, like, not intelligent way of actually going about it. You should, like, we should see that these characters are stronger, but selling it like that and then nerfing immediately is definitely a problem that I just can't completely, like, understand. People already have the advantage in rank, and while they have the advantage, what ends up happening is while these people have the advantage and they're losing with these super overpowered characters, they still get to quit on top of that, and you get nothing for your time. That's just disrespectful to the player base, you know? So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think all around on what hurts the game the most for you. And these are just constructive feedbacks, because when people say things like, oh, the game's dying or this game sucks, it's just not a legitimate feedback for me, because I need to hear people give me answers to what could be done, what could save, and what can make your experience better as you're playing a game like this. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's very important and very noticeable too as a community to actually give real feedback, real input. So when you look at the graphs, yes, declining. We have only had our first update. We're definitely, the real problem here for me is if they start focusing on the DLC rather than fixing the game. That to me is a major issue. If they just start focusing on the DLC and just kind of leaving the game the way it is, we should be getting something in December, close to end of November to December. But if we don't, that's going to be a tough time to kind of ride this game through until the first DLC to get something. They should be getting things to us together. They should be getting things to us a lot faster. Hot fixes, different things to go through with testing the game and really like locking it in. So I feel like these things are very, very important, especially for us as players and people who love the game, or just any fighting game in general should have a way smoother experience. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the game is dying. It's just coming off that release hype. The thing is too, is coming off of the release hype, and people got to understand that a game like this isn't going to just kind of like stay with high numbers on streaming platforms.
TEKKENS disconnect percentages being shown, so when I am playing online matches, so I can avoid pluggers.
Yeah, pluggers is just a serious problem for me. Pluggers are just a serious problem. Like they just ruin the foundation and the health of the game, because they are afraid to actually like lock in and play to a certain level, a certain degree, and they're just sore losers all around. They're just bad players, you know? But other than that, like, I feel like, by the way, this transformation is beautiful, but I feel like the game has a lot of life, is great all around, and there's a lot of things that you can do with this game, and really kind of like stand out for it to flourish, you know? Because people play Tenkaichi for years and years to come, and this one can just do just as well. You know, it's a fantastic game. But let me know what you guys feel. What's your complaint? Is it dying? Is it falling off? The numbers are falling off heavily, but none of these games really stay with high numbers. Even Naruto, all of them, when it comes to being released on streaming platform, they just don't stay long. Because instead of people just watching these games all day, people rather just play the game. And that's what it comes down to. People just rather play the game. It's their experience. They're going to play this game rather than just sit and watch somebody else play it. But if it was ready and cleaner with being able to run more tournaments and doing different things with it, and just like, you know, events for the player base, it would be smoother for a lot more people to just sit there and watch. But, you know, that's just about it right now. But other than that, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Hope that you guys enjoy the content. I got a couple more videos. You guys know I do a lot of teaching videos and helping people get better at the game. But with that being said, we're going to try to do the best we can and try to lock in, you know. But yeah, other than that, y'all take care. If you enjoy the content, drop a thumbs up. I'll catch you guys later.